I was noting that you should have those.
I should have. We're on my mittens. You're right.
From the inaugural meme. You're about to go cast your vote on the floor of the Senate. You're going to vote no. You and Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin are going to try to force a vote to extend the Obamacare subsidies. How would that happen?
Very simple.
You need 60 votes or 51?
We're going to need, on this one, 60 votes.
60 votes.
All right, and it is absolutely common sense. I think no sane person wants to see 20+ million people see a doubling in their health care premiums and pave the way for 15 million Americans to lose their health care through massive cuts in Medicaid. So all that we're doing is saying, all right, Trump is saying after 4 years of being president before, after 4 years out of office, after a year as president, he's now beginning to think about the healthcare crisis facing America. Very, very good. All right, why don't we just simply extend the Affordable Care Act for another year and take that year to decide what way forward for America. As you know, Jake, we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people, despite spending twice as much per person as any other country. I happen to believe that the solution is Medicare for all, expanding Medicare to cover every man, woman, and child. It's the cost-effective way to do it. Republicans have another idea. Let's debate it. But let's address the crisis in healthcare.
So there are 48 Democrats. Do I have that number right?
47.
47 Democrats. I mean, you'll need 13 Republicans.
Right. Do I think we're going to get it? No. But I think we're going to put them on the record, going on record and saying, look, we are voting now to force 20 million Americans to see a doubling in their health care premiums. If they want to cast that vote, that's their business.
So I had the Speaker of the House on not long ago, just minutes ago, and he said that Schumer didn't get anything out of the deal. Do you agree?
Basically. Well, it wasn't Schumer. You had 8 Democrats who, for a variety of reasons, decided not to continue the fight. And needless to say, I think that was a terrible, terrible mistake. I think what Tuesday's election showed is the American people are sick and tired of Trumpism, the idea that we have a president now who is prepared to literally starve children and illegally cut back, refuse to expend SNAP money is outrageous. And the idea that you have a president now who wants to double premiums for 20 million Americans is equally outrageous. We had the American people on our side. We should have continued that fight. I think the Republicans would have yielded. Look, Schumer and I have very fundamental disagreements about where the Democratic Party should be. And I am strongly supporting candidates for the Senate who are not part of the Democratic establishment, who believe in Medicare for all, who are prepared to take on the big money interests and fight for working people. All right, I have a very different vision of where the Democratic Party should go. If Schumer steps down, who is going to take his place? The truth is, progressives in the Senate right now are I think there are about 8 or 9 of us. We are pretty much of a minority.
I want you to take a listen to the Senate highest ranking Democrat in the Senate, Dick Durbin, who's retiring next year. He voted yes on the deal. Take a listen to what he had to say. So this is part of the deal, that there will be a vote in the Senate on extending the Obamacare subsidies, as you and Tammy Baldwin are introducing again earlier. Tonight, and they're going to, if it fails, it will come up again. Do you believe Thune is going to keep his word and have this vote in?
Yeah, I suspect that he will, but it's more or less a meaningless gesture, because you could pass it here in the Senate, but as you well know, you got to get past the House. You got to get it signed by the President of the United States. Do you think the President of the United States is going to sign that bill? I don't.
As you know, premiums are going up not just in Obamacare, they're going up for everybody.
That's right.
And one of the reasons that we've been told is because people are having trouble, healthy people are having trouble affording it. They're dropping out of the insurance market, and so the unhealthy people who are in the market, right, their premiums are going even more exponentially up than they would have.
Absolutely. That is the case. Look, that is what happens when you don't have a universal healthcare system. What we, as the wealthiest nation on earth, should be doing is guaranteeing healthcare to every man, woman, and child, and then you don't run into that problem. You're insuring healthy people, you're insuring people with cancer, etc. The truth of the matter is right now the function of the current healthcare system is to make huge profits for the insurance companies and the drug companies. It is a wildly inefficient, bureaucratic system that is driving doctors and patients and everybody else crazy. It is unaffordable. We need to get rid of it. In my view, move to a Medicare for all single-payer program.
Your fellow independent from New England, Senator Angus King, was asked this morning to respond to your criticisms of the Democrats who voted yes last night. He said, his response was, "What's your strategy, man?" And, quote, "Standing up to Donald Trump didn't work."
Well, maybe Angus didn't notice the elections on Tuesday. I thought that they worked pretty well. Maybe Angus is not noticing the polling, which shows that correctly people understand that Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. They are holding Republicans accountable. And you got to stand firm. This is tough stuff. And Angus is right. A lot of people are hurting. Nobody feels good about this. Nobody feels good about federal employees not getting a paycheck. But we are winning, in my view. I think the Republicans are on the defensive. And in my view, it was the vote that Angus cast was the wrong vote.
All right, Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from the great state of Vermont. Thank you.